Hello everyone and welcome back to Monsters of the Mind. As always, I'm your host Mr.G. If you watched the last video, you know that things kinda got out of hand. But don't worry, Vincent told me everything. So, yeah, let's just get on to today's episode. Today we're talking about griffins. Griffin means to grip, and they were a species. Whether they were good or bad depends on what time period you're referring to. They came from Europe and Africa, and their earliest known incarnation comes from Egyptian mythology. Appearance-wise, griffins are almost always described as being lions, but with an eagle head and having a pair of wings on its back. Much like dragons, griffins have appeared in many different mythologies across many different countries. Now, despite originating in Egyptian mythology, I couldn't actually find any stories that featured or even mentioned them, which seems to indicate they were more like a symbolic thing rather than a monster believed to be real. In Greek mythology, it was said that the chariot of the sun was pulled by griffins. During medieval times, griffins were used as a symbol for eternal monogamy, meaning you could only be married once your entire life, no matter what happens. In fact, in general, griffins started getting really popular during medieval times, and this is when the description for griffins was set in stone as the lion with the head and wings of an eagle. Like dragons, griffins are also described as being pretty greedy and love keeping treasure. Another notable thing about them that has appeared in a lot of stories is the fact that griffins are often described as hating horses, most likely due to associating them with people trying to steal their treasure, but who knows. And now here's Vincent. I mentioned in the dragon video that griffins and dragons don't particularly get along. Dragons like to try to eat griffins, but griffins are known to be able to kill dragons using their claws. They have very sharp claws. In fact, sometimes when a griffin kills a dragon, they'll actually take over their nest. Oh, and if you're wondering, griffins lay eggs. Now, as for my experiences with griffins, I've had a few run-ins with them. They're actually pretty passive to things not near their nests. I've even petted griffins before. It's weird. Imagine like petting a bird, but then halfway through it's like you start petting a dog. That's basically the best way to describe what petting a griffin feels like. Now let's look at the card. Well, that's a griffin, alright. Yeah, it's a griffin. I like the rhyming they do on the side, like regal eagle and flying lion. It's quite humorous, if I'm being honest. Although one thing this card claims is that they appeared in Mesopotamian mythology, but I can't find a single source for that claim. Maybe they're mistaking them for a similar animal or something. I don't know. I couldn't find any appearances of griffins in Mesopotamia at all, though. So, yeah. I don't have much to say about this card. 9 out of 10 for the possibly debatable misplacement of Mesopotamia thing. Yeah. Now let's look at griffins and pop culture. In Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland, there's a chapter where the titular character is taken on a trip by a griffin to a creature known as the Mock Turtle. Where the two creatures engage in banter. Now, if this scene doesn't seem familiar, it's because it was cut out of the Disney version. Although weirdly enough, they appeared in a Jell-O commercial based on the film of all places. Griffins have appeared in the Castlevania franchise. They were in God of War. They were in My Little Pony. A griffin appears in one of Ray Harryhausen's Sinbad movies. Griffins were in the movie adaptations of Chronicles of Narnia, despite not appearing in the books. Griffins appear in some Elder Scrolls games. Griffins are in Ark Survival Evolved. Yep, I can never avoid this series. The website Neopets has a pet based on a griffin. I can't believe I'm stooping this low. Does anyone even know what Neopets is anymore? Oh, whatever. And they were also in Dungeons & Dragons. That's all for this episode of Monsters of the Mind. Join me next time when I talk about a worm. Bye!